This is Channel Attitude. Your voice, your right, your freedom.
Hello everybody and welcome to the show where after the collision we sift through
the wreckage.
The wreckage. I am your host Jimmy T. He is the best in the world, Jamie the Vet Williams, and you are listening and watching live on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel and of course channelattitude.com after the fact. Hey, Vet, what's going on? And just before I get your answer, happy Mother's Day to everybody around the world. And I hope all the mums got spoiled rotted, man. Vet, how's things, dude?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be talking about a lot of mothers today on this program. That's for sure.
Well, we'll get to that.
But I'm good.
You're good. That's all that matters. As long as you're good, man. Vet, it's been, I guess, a bit of a busy weekend in pro wrestling. I mean, WWE love doing stuff around, significant sort of days. I mean, it was Mother's Day for me yesterday, so I got to watch Backlash on Mother's Day. But
you didn't make your mom watch it, did you?
No, absolutely not.
That's the best gift you could have given her.
She hates wrestling, bro. Big time. Can't stand it. But yeah, man. But I had a good day. I mean, I did a lot of shows, man. Did a couple of shows yesterday, including the Smack Attack and of course the Backlash review with Let's Go Brandon and RBV, and of course Brandon done a watch along before that. But yeah, man. But then I had to watch AEW because I like watching AEW right, before we do our show, because of course Collision was on Thursday this past week and Dynamite was on the normal Wednesday. But man, I hate doing it. I hate watching it right after I've watched the WWE PLE, dude. It's kind of night and day. I kid you not.
Right. Especially now that they've, they took everyone's advice and moved to smaller venues, and now they look even more Bush League. They can't help it. This is what you be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. It's funny how people would say that, right? Like some people would say it, and then other people would just hear those people say it, and then they would say it. And none of them have any personal stake in it. Like they don't care if Tony spent all that money or whatever on buildings or whatever. They didn't care. And they didn't, unless you went to social media, you wouldn't see how empty it looked. So I don't know why everybody took it upon themselves to give him this advice out of the kindness of their hearts. But now, it definitely looks like a step down once you watched the WWE with their, drone cameras and 8Ks and all this other foolishness.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, man. I don't know what it is about WWE, right? And it probably is all that, what you just mentioned. Just everything looks, top notch. You're more excited. I mean, everything about the way they not build the show, but just everything around the show, like the music, the feeling, the aura of the show, it's completely night and day compared to AEW. And look, even Backlash, when you think about it, on paper, it's not that strong of a card, right? When you really think about it. I mean, you had a lot of stars missing from this show, but it didn't matter to me because I still know that whoever's booked on this show, they're going to pretty much hit it out the park for the most part when it comes to PLEs. Just WWE know how to deliver decent PLEs, man, on a consistent basis compared to everyone else. And don't get me wrong, AEW to a lesser extent can do it too. But It
Yeah,
just
they
doesn't
deliver
have
on
this-
pay-per-view to what their fans want.
Yeah,
Even though I
definitely.
think they cram too many matches in, but I think that's
Understatement.
just a function of Tony juggling a lot of chainsaws with his creative. Like
That's a good
he
one.
does try to give everybody something to do, and whether we like it or not is one thing, but like
Right.
he tries to give everybody something to do, but then what that means is he's got to try to pay off all this stuff in one night rather than, if I would make a suggestion, if I would make a humble suggestion, and not to hurt anybody's feelings, just a nice humble suggestion,
Right.
just sort of layer your stories so that they end up falling on different pay-per-views so that you don't have to have them all on one pay-per-view each
Right.
month. Just time it out a little bit, stagger it a little bit so that they end up paying off every other month for like half the roster instead of, just trying to get everything in there. It's tricky. But I mean, if he's been doing all this stuff and keeping it, as encyclopedic knowledge, working overtime to get all this stuff done, then I think he can do it. I'm sure he can do it.
Well, he does have a memory, apparently, like a real good one. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
if you caught the Maven show like this past week where he apparently allegedly snuck into AEW. Did you catch that at all?
No.
Oh, dude, you should just watch it. It's pretty interesting. But I don't buy the fact that he snuck in, right? You'll see anyway for yourself. It was too easy. But, dude, he got to meet Tony Khan. And one of the first things Tony Khan said to Maven was, "Oh, no, this is not the first time we're meeting. This is the second time we're meeting." He goes, "Oh, really?" Right? He goes, "Yeah, I remember when I met you." And he swear to God, dude, he said the date, the year. And Maven's looking at him like, "Wow, really?" You know what I mean? Like, literally, like, he remembered exactly when he signed an autograph to a T,
Right.
which is crazy to me, man, because not even
Right.
I can remember shit now from back then. I can't give you a date.
No, I can't even remember the years sometimes anymore. But that's the thing, though. It's like that's a gift. It's a gift
Yeah,
for a
for
human
sure.
to have a brain that can do that. But what I've learned in my time on planet Earth is that when you're gifted,
Right.
you don't get all the gifts.
No,
So that means
definitely
that you're
not.
not gifted in other ways, right?
Right,
So like those
absolutely.
are the struggles about, like I'm able to, I guess it is the opposite of that. Like I don't have the photographic encyclopedic memory. I remember I have a decent long-term memory about stuff like that, but I'm more able to keep things in a perspective,
Absolutely.
and look at the totality of it.
Right.
And that's why I want to tie that into like the comment that J12 has put up. I'll read it. He says, "What up, HMG? You guys are honestly the only non-biased show I listen to. Cornette is too pro-punk, anti-rock. K100 is all pro-WWE. Vince Russo hates WWE, but you guys seem to watch and critique everything." Well, I appreciate you saying that. I think it's
Absolutely.
a rare thing. I mean, there's plenty of unbiased stuff out there, but do they really know what they're talking about a lot of the time? Or can they put a unique spin on it with any level of experience? There's lots of Mark podcasts that can do that. Like they can talk about wrestling and maybe stay unbiased, but they only know so much. They can only go into so much detail because they really don't know.
Right.
I think one of the perspective that HMG offers, it's our greatest strength and our greatest weakness because it's something that few other outlets can do, but it's interesting to fewer people. I think a lot of audiences like to hear people that they agree with so that they feel validated. I think that's a big thing
definitely.
in entertainment now, is just people being validated of what they like. They want to know that in this cold, harsh world that we live in, there are other people that feel the way they feel, and then they don't feel so alone. I think that's a big important thing too. That's why even though we're very niche in what we do, which is already a niche, I think it's important that, we're able to offer that unique perspective, but also feel welcoming to people who are interested. There's a couple
Absolutely.
people, that I see here and there that pop in that are like new listeners or whatever. And if you're looking for like an AEW fluff show, the Wreckage isn't that. It sounds like probably a lot of the time that we hate AEW. What we hate, I think, is what we see on AEW.
Exactly.
I think we're always tuning in, at least I do. Every week is a fresh, clean slate for them to entertain us. And then I can tell them what they did right and wrong, or what I liked and didn't like, and stuff like that. I don't have an agenda in this because I don't get any extra money for talking nice about AEW or trashing it. It's just, it is what it is. And that in itself is unique. So, but I appreciate J12 recognizing that. I appreciate J12 for spending his time with us. I appreciate all you guys for spending your time with us. And we always do our best to make things as entertaining as possible. And as the best in the world, I have such a standard to live up to.
You know? Do. And don't get it twisted. He saves our butts big time. And I'm talking about the vet, because you bring a totally different perspective than most of us can. And that's what makes him so great, because you make us look even, just as great. And for that, I thank you, man, because without you, we'd probably be screwed on this platform for the most part. You know what I mean? So, that's the thing that you bring, vet, that none of us can, other than the workers, obviously, like Ben and Stevie and all those guys. But I'm talking about just from the boys' perspective, the circle. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we try to be. Look, we're equally just as like we'll criticize WWE just as much as we criticize AEW if it's called for. You know what I mean? We're not like that biased. It's just WWE just put on a much more better watch. And when I say watch, like Backlash, for example, vet, it was under 3 hours, dude. Perfect. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a great flow, man. 5 matches. Nothing felt like it drained it for me, believe it or not, except for the main event. I don't know if it was just me by that point being gassed from all the matches before that, because I thoroughly enjoyed every match before that. Except I didn't like the Gunther McAfee finish to an extent. I get it. Totally get it. They told the story in the ring, for example, right? They really did. But Gunther suddenly like showing respect at the end and all this shit. I don't know, man. I felt like the match went way too long for my liking. Plus, McAfee didn't look the greatest out there, but he told the story, which was good for him. You know what I mean? But in terms of his in-ring stuff, he botched a couple of spots, dude, which is kind of embarrassing. He looked too hyped.
All right, well, let's talk about that. Because here's how, again, we can, in the same breath, I can praise the WWE for the show that they're able to put on and how watchable it is and how it feels in the atmosphere. And I can also tell you how they fuck everything up in the same breath. Because, like, okay, Pat McAfee. I like Pat McAfee, okay? I like him as an announcer. I like him as a personality. I like him if he cares enough to get in this ring. But the problem is, Pat McAfee is playing pro wrestler. It's not even important if he goes for a springboard and slips a little bit and falls in the ring like he did. That's not that important. What's important is the fact that a lot of the stuff he does looks like he knows this is phony. You know?
Interesting.
So he's not cut out for it, basically, is what it is. It may be his dream and everything like that. And one of the things that I always love when people say it was always my dream to do this is how they just didn't do it. Like, it was always my dream to be a pro wrestler. So of course I played football and became a punter because WWE was my dream. Well, obviously it wasn't.
Right.
So
I hate that too, man. Straight up.
You know,
I'm glad
I'm not, that's not an attack. It's just, but he's not the only person that says that.
Right.
You know? So for that match, it was pretty okay for what it was, because Walter's good enough that he can tell the story that needs to be told, but it's still, he can't do everything. He can't do 100% of the match himself. So
he pretty much did, dude.
Yeah, I don't know who was the producer for this. I'm not sure. But if they had any input on it, maybe it hurt because there were definitely things that they could have done to make things different.
Don't even get me started. Like J12 says in the chat, and you're right, by the way. He says RBV was talking about McAfee like a long lost brother on your review show last night, Jimmy. I know, and I was trying to. I don't know why. I was trying to say to him, I don't know why you loved it as much as you did. And don't get me wrong, the match itself, like the story told in the ring, put all the bullshit that I'm critiquing aside. Great stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, but I've just felt like it went way too long, right? For someone like Gunther. To me, it hurt Gunther, man, because this does nothing for McAfee. He's just going to go off and commentate again, whether it's football or wrestling. It does nothing for him in the long term. Do you know what I mean? What payoff does it do for McAfee? Other than, for me, what does it did it even do for Gunther? Nothing. That win done nothing, in my opinion, for Gunther the way he won it.
No, it didn't. But the reasoning, at least I'm going to say, I hope this is the reasoning for why they did what they did, is because he lost the world championship. And the next thing you do can't just be like any old thing. It has to be something to like get people's minds off of that. You know what I mean? It's almost like he was forced into this match. Yeah, because otherwise, why wouldn't you think the first thing he'd do is go after Jay, right? Or,
absolutely.
Or, you know, even John Cena for that matter. Whatever the case, like logically, you'd have to ask, why is this guy not going to just go back to being the champion of something?
Right.
So if you throw this distraction, that gets everybody to not ask the questions immediately why. And it buys them time to figure out how they're going to get him back to that if they want to. That's what I hope is the reason they did it.
No, it's more than likely you're right. Because it makes sense, right? Because the way they built him to be such a monster, you know what I mean?
Right. But there was, you know, it's just little things. I just don't really think, it's one of the WWE's issues. I just don't think they know who these people are. And I've talked about this before. You know, with that character, it's just, that character is not the guy that, he should never be in that position in the first place. He should not be like manhandling announcers. You know, it's not something he would do. It's something that if he still had Kaiser would send him to do, you know? But the fact that they don't get that, that gives me like, that makes me want to ask a lot of questions. Like, who should I be talking to about this? Because you guys should know at this point, after having him under contract, you should know who this character is by now. And if you don't, that's really a problem, I think. Is it okay? Yes. Is it good enough? Yes. Could it be better? Definitely. Absolutely. So they got to get to that. They can't get complacent with that. That's one match I watched. I watched the ladies, and as I thought, as I speculated that Becky was only doing this to help get Lyra over, and based on the reaction of the crowd to the match and her, I feel like she's definitely got some points in that category because the people were with it and they were booing Becky. So that is a testament to Becky. But it could have easily not gone that way with a lesser, you know, and there was things about that match that I also didn't like too, but it was even actually, I think, better to match than the McAfee one.
Oh, 100%. That was a great match, really, man.
Here's another thing. Oh yeah. And to another point, J12 made, but I'll get to a moment. One thing about that match, that should have started the show. They should have switched that and the four-way. The four-way was way too much carnage.
Yeah, way too much
to start. And this match was deliberate and it built. You know, like Lyra and Becky was
as well.
A build, and then by the end though, it was overbooked. Just a little bit.
I said the same thing, dude.
But it was a little too much, and I didn't like the way they executed it. But up until that, and that's the sad part, because that's the part that needs the most business and what people will remember. So It's bad that they messed that part up, because now people will forget about the good part. But that is the kind of match that you should start a show with, because it's just a one-on-one. Everybody's ready to see something. And after that, then you could switch it around. And then you could throw the Carnage match in. Then the match after that would have been Dominic versus Penta, which you got one guy that's super, super over just from walking out, and another guy that's super getting heat just from walking out. So even though you just saw that carnage, you're still up and you're ready to
right.
be
Makes sense.
interacted with that. But even though they put the girls match in the wrong spot, the crowd was still with it. So that says a lot.
All night, dude.
Yeah. But that's still a mistake, regardless of how it ended up. It's a mistake that you even thought to do it that way. And that's really all I had time to watch. I skipped through the 4-way. I just watched the ladies match, McAfee. I didn't get to see the main event. I know that R-Truth came in and did some stuff. So I guess John Cena is just going to be the guy that punches people in the dick and hits them with a belt from now on. And that's a good way to explain how he could beat all these guys that he shouldn't be beating. Because nobody's would look at John Cena as a believable person to beat anybody in the WWE at this point.
It's an understatement, dude. Especially if you watch it. I feel like he's regressed like big time, compared to say 2017 even, which is not that long ago. It's a while ago, but when you think about it, I just think now I know he's going to like live behind the excuse, I'm here to ruin wrestling. Some people truly think it's part of the story. I just think it's cover. So when the match does suck, that's why it's sucking. Do you know what I mean? Like me personally.
Well, you could have a good match and then make people upset at the end.
Right.
Like you could still do that. But I mean, even just from what I saw, like I was already just like, oh my God, how long has this chin lock been on already? It's just the match just started.
Bro, it's the worst chin lock as well that's applied.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Obviously Cena can't go anymore.
He just can't, man. He really can't, dude.
But there's ways around that. But the issue is like he's not taking the ways around it that he could be, as far as I can see.
No, I don't think he gives a shit. That's another thing, Vet. I think he's just phoning it in now, like really.
Yeah.
And I hate dude.
In fairness, it works because of what he's trying to do.
Right.
If he was out there having matches like this and trying to be a babyface still, then yeah, that wouldn't be good. But when you're a heel, that's one of the lessons you learn. This is part of what makes a Rip Rogers education so crucial, and why the people that have it are still working on top in their 40s, and the people that don't have it are making the same mistakes over and over again, and they don't understand why they're not getting over, right? Is when you're a heel, you can't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like whatever you do is fine. If you if you slip on a literal banana peel on the way to the ring and you're a heel, it doesn't matter. You just get up and get angry at everybody for laughing at you for slipping and falling. If you're a babyface and you slip on that same banana peel, you're cooked. It's over. No one's going to ever believe in you again, because you're supposed to have everything together and be a role model, and you slipped on a banana peel like a moron, so you're dead now. See, that's the difference. A heel can always, whether it's kayfabe or a shoot, a heel can always fuck up, and it works. So if John Cena's having shitty matches because, he's a part-timer who's an actor, then it works for him. He can make it work for him.
Right.
And that's okay. And if the finishes piss people off, then yes. But I also would have liked if, then if that's the case, then don't overbook as many of the other finishes on the card, and like, what was that shit with Jeff Cobb just randomly?
Oh my God.
I'm so tired of people making their debut as oh my God, that's Jeff Cobb. Like, what is he doing? Why is he not being restrained by security? I'm just tired of those debuts. It's just so annoying. It's so lazy. It's lazy, Jimmy.
It is, man. It is. And that's the issue in pro wrestling of today. It's little things that just don't care anymore. Like, it doesn't matter, because even Triple H, I could picture him, if someone said that, just say you in that match and you pointed that out to Triple H, right? I could see him turning around going, don't worry about it. They don't give a fuck. They already know it's bullshit. Like, don't even worry about it. And that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, no, you should worry about it. Make things make sense. Don't just phone it in because, you know what I mean, no one cares. It's not the point, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, everyone knows, but it doesn't matter. Make it look right. Make it look and make sense. And another thing about Cobb, man, I don't know, man. Like, he's 42. I'm happy for him that he's finally gotten, he's going to get a decent paycheck, right? But did he look friggin' out of shape to you this time? Maybe it's because he was wearing normal everyday clothes,
right?
And it kind of looks.
I've only
weird,
seen Jeff Cobb in a singlet. I don't know what he looks like in t-shirt.
That's what I mean, yeah.
But no. Look, Jeff Cobb's not. There's nothing to worry about Jeff Cobb. It's not him that they have to worry about. It's the office. Again, like I'm saying, they don't know who these people are. They don't know if they don't know who Walter is at this point. How are they going to know who Jeff Cobb is? He hasn't even been there, and they don't even know the people they have under contract are. So he comes in. How should you have debuted Jeff Cobb if you wanted to do it like this? You should have had this, like, you should have already explained who he was and showed that you signed him and interviewed him a couple of times and have people wondering what he's going to do, so that when they see him do this, like, they're not going to know is whose side is he on when he comes out the first time or when he gets involved the first time. Like, for example, I would have not done this. I would have done like a better spot might have been, okay, like, here's Jeff Cobb on the pre-show, or on SmackDown the night before or whatever. Have a little short thing showing like, hey, this is him signing his contract. This is who he is. Show a couple stills, like this is Jeff Cobb, big signing. Make it seem like it's kind of okay, but not a huge deal that you make, like, because nobody's going to treat him like a superstar just not knowing who he is. So, but it's like, hey, but here's a new guy. Right. Here's a new guy. Maybe you didn't hear of him. This is where you would have heard of him. He's done this and this. He's excited to be part of the WWE and whatever. And then you could see him like in the audience, like he's in the front row seat. Like, here's Jeff Cobb, everybody. He's watching the show. Get to the Gunther and McAfee match. Gunther's not letting go of the, maybe Gunther taunts him the whole time. Like, watch this. Look what I'm doing to Pat McAfee. Look at this. You sure you want to sign with the WWE? Like, that kind of thing. Right. And then you could do something where when he is not letting McAfee out of a chokehold or something, then Cobb can get in because he's been provoked all night, Right. And then you could get involved with that, and then you could do something there. And I'm not saying you have to put him in there, but you could put that teaser into, like, okay. And then after you see him do that, then if he jumps and joins with, Solo and them, it'll be like, oh, I thought he was going to be a good dude,
Yeah.
See what I mean? You could still put him in the program you want, but you introduce him in a different way where the people think he's like going to be a good guy. You know what I mean? But the only reason that he goes at Walter is because he's been provoked and whatever. Not because he cared about saving Pat McAfee, but because it was his chance to make an impression. And you could then have people try to restrain him from jumping over, but he just goes through it, shows how strong he is, right? Or something like that. Even that's lazy, but guess what? I'm not being paid to think of it. I didn't think of it until we started doing this show. It's these people's whole fucking job to think of different and interesting ways to present their product.
I don't understand why it seems so hard these days. I truly don't get it, man. Because shouldn't it be easy when you're spitballing with a whole bunch of different people, about, different scenarios? Surely someone has got a decent one, right? Like, and the thing is, they used to do this years ago, man. Remember, before anyone would debut, they would have vignettes, man. They'll introduce you with vignettes before they've even debuted yet. And it would be like almost, I don't want to say a countdown, but there's a build towards their debut. Like Jericho, even when Jericho first debuted in WWE, we had the Y2K, the Y2J.
Right. A mystery.
Countdown. Right.
What could this be?
What I mean? Absolutely, man. So I don't get it, man. Like, I don't know why they don't do that shit anymore. I guess it is what it is. And their excuse probably is, everyone's got a short attention span.
It works whether you have a short attention span or a long attention span. I mean, you can book things, you can write things that work for any level. That's what your goal should be. You can easily, maybe it is the hardest. Maybe I am just the best in the world because it's not hard for me to think about it, but I don't even like thinking about it. I don't feel creative. I don't like booking. I don't like coming up with ideas.
No, really.
What I like is if somebody has an idea, I want to share their vision and show them like little details that can make it the best. That's what I like doing. I don't like coming up with it because I want to know what you know, like what's your idea, Mr. the H? You know, like what do you think about Jeff Cobb? And if he says, well, I want to put him with the solo, and I'm like, oh, that's great. Okay, well, what if we did this instead? You know, like that. You know, it's like that's what I want to do. But regardless, I think that I think they'll get by no matter what because you know they're really cooking right now. But in the long term, keeping things fresh will give people less things to hate on, I think. And they'll keep outpacing, you know, whatever the competition may be, and just get more people on board. I think it's okay to, you know, even remember like, you know, they used to do, you know, like on the Netflix debut, they would have wrestlers that weren't working sitting in the crowd.
Yeah.
So now it wouldn't even, you know, the idea that I said wouldn't even be that crazy because it's like, well, we've seen this. We've seen wrestlers sitting in the crowd. We'll probably talk about some more wrestlers sitting in the crowd when we start reviewing AEW, but I'm just saying like there's simple ways to do this, even in ways that they've already done before that they're just not doing.
Facts, man. And, you know, I'm glad we spoke about all that because, you know, just looking at the news, there really isn't any news, man. Funny enough. Nothing out of significance. And pretty much with all the stuff we spoke about, that's pretty much the news. I mean, it's really quite, unless do people really want to know about the best of the Super Juniors? What do you think? Yeah, see what I mean? So I'm not going to talk about that. There's really...
Nick Wayne's over there.
Well, that's true. And we'll keep tabs on him. Don't get me wrong. I might even watch that. You know, I kind of miss New Japan. Or maybe, don't call me a marktard now for saying that. But, you know, sometimes you crave for that complete different sort of product sometimes, man. You know what? I even caught TNA sort of a little bit this week. I didn't mind that, dude. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was actually half a decent show. One thing I did notice, their production has actually gotten better. What's up with that? Is that WWE's partnership suddenly, like them helping them out in that, or because it's
maybe? But they've also turned over a bunch of management too, so I don't know.
That's true.
You know, I don't know what the influence is. If is that the WWE installing their own people, or was that going to happen anyway? We don't know. But
do you think they're priming themselves to take over TNA? It seems like they are, sort of. You
no,
don't think so?
No. It's kind of like what I said about, you know, when they purchased AAA, I said, if you remember, what I said was like, why did you need to purchase it? You could have told them anything you wanted them to do, and they would have done it.
It's true.
For free. You didn't have to pay for it. And that's kind of the deal they have with TNA. They'll do whatever WWE says. They don't have to pay for it. It would be a mistake to buy TNA because you're just spending money, but what are you buying? You're not really buying anything. And everybody always,
They'll just probably want the tape library, if anything.
See, I knew you were going to say that. What do they need it for?
Content's king, isn't it? Apparently to
what
everyone?
Content?
Well, you got AJ Styles, you know, stuff.
No, but what are you gonna? What are you gonna do with it?
Oh well, that's true. They've got no network per se now. I mean,
right? And they don't sell DVDs. Actually. They wanted the libraries for DVDs and stuff when they used to make those. They don't make them anymore. They shut that down like a few years ago now. So why everybody just says that again? That's another instance of people just saying that because somebody else said that. But think about it. You don't need a tape library anymore. And if they did want anything from TNA, what'd I just say? They'll be like, hey, give us that footage. Okay. If we need it for a video package, if we need it for a special on Peacock or whatever, a documentary thing, they'll be like, hey, TNA, give us that tape. We need to make a AJ Styles documentary. Okay.
Yeah, no,
they don't need to buy anything. What can you buy? You're paying millions of dollars for 3 letters. You don't need it. So I don't understand why they bought AAA still, but there could be some reason for it that I don't understand, and I'm fully willing to admit that. But I also think they could have got whatever they wanted, even just by just saying like, hey, let's handshake and then we'll tell you what's up.
Right. No, for sure. It's WWE. I mean, fuck. Everyone will bow down whenever they want something. But Vet, I think it's time we get sifting through the wreckage though, dude, because there's quite a bit of wreckage to sift through.
All right.
And
Let's sift.
We start off with Dynamite.
Starting off with Dynamite, pulling up my notes. Wreckage. All right. Hang Person's in the ring, and I wrote down immediately as I see him come out to the ring, my first note, I kid you not, is quote. I'm quoting off my own notes here. I'm just reading what I have in my notes. I can't with this guy. That's my review of his promo that he's doing. Like the moment he starts talking and I just look at him and his clothes and his hair and like him talking about whatever bullshit he's talking about, like I did some bad, like the minute he starts talking, I'm just like,
it's the hair, dude. I know, because he makes you, all he does is make everyone try to feel sorry for him, literally. Like that's what he's always trying to do, man. And I
remember when they would just have bars at the arenas just so he could sit there and drink at it?
I'd rather that Hangman at this point, no shit, than this bullshit.
Yeah, he was a lot quieter then.
Way quieter.
He was too busy sipping to talk. I want to know. First, I'm going to ask anybody here. Right. I want you guys to shoot, okay? Just act like I'm Rob Feinstein asking you, so what's your thoughts on... I want you to tell me who legit likes Hangman Page at this stage of his career. Like who really sees anything anymore? I just want to know. And if so, what is it? What do you see? You can be honest. I'm not going to roast anybody for saying that they like Hangman. I just want to know, like I'm legitimately, this is not rhetorical. I want to know who likes Hangman Page and why. Because I am so done with this dude in the wrestling business.
Oh,
period.
Just being in the
get
business,
fucked,
totally.
as Jimmy would say. That'd be the only time I borrow lines from Jimmy. Get fucked.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. But the fact that you said that, like, fuck him, like, just get rid of him out of pro wrestling, period, that pops me too, man. That is funny. Oh, well, Labrat says... he's funny.
I think Labrat is testing out some interesting drugs now.
He asked us what we're being tested on before the show started.
Yeah, our patience is being tested with Hangman Page, is what it is.
Oh man,
but yeah,
funny Labrat. But yeah, it's true, man.
Yeah.
Well, Mike Hawks.
I don't know. His wife.
It says he's cute. You're trying to big him up, please.
Yep.
Oh, come on. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I don't know. So anyway, finally Ospreay comes out. And if I'd ever begged for Ospreay to cut somebody off in a promo, I never thought that day would come, but here we are. And he starts saying what he says, and then the Callis family comes out, and then Will Ospreay sees the Callis family, and immediately he wants Hangman Page to saddle up with him and ride into a fight.
Stupid, man. Stupid. Because like he was pumping him up. Ospreay was pumping him up at first, and then brought him down, and then wants to team up with him. Like, talk about bipolar, dude. Like, seriously, no offense to anybody out there, just in case. But what's this? Like, why would you go like this? It's literally like just zigzagging this promo. You start off positive, go negative, then positive. Stop. It's one way, man.
Yeah. So he, for some reason, well, I know the reason. It's because, again, this is somebody else's, I won't name names. This is somebody's idea of compelling drama. But Will Ospreay puts his arm against Hangman's chest to hold him back. Like he's going to run out and fight the entire Callis family by himself. Right. And he's cutting the promo while holding Hangman with the other thing. And he's basically trying to get to the point where they're going to team up. Right. And when they just about gets to that point, Hangman grabs his hand and just staring at him. as he peels his hand back, and everybody's like, ooh. Well, the Hangman wasn't going anywhere, so the only reason that Ospreay did that was because that's what Hangman is supposed to do, is grab his hand. That's somebody's dramatic, stage blocking that they did, the choreography of this.
Sure.
Doesn't make any sense, but they did it to get a reaction. And
no one cared.
Yeah.
It's stupid, man.
Yeah, so Hangman stares at him, and then nothing happens for a while. And I guess we can just assume that this match will be made regardless of the fact that these two don't seem to be. Can they coexist, Jimmy?
The Mega Powers exploding at this point. Yeah, of course.
Mega Powers who were just shook hands, but now are going to explode. The handshake will explode. The first handshake will explode.
Oh, won't it? You know how AEW and explosions go.
Right. Sparklers will come on. So 100%. Scott Woodford says, I'm a fan of Hangman. I met him. Nice guy. He should be more aggressive, in my opinion. Okay, so there's a legit answer from Scott. I understand if he's a nice guy. That doesn't translate to TV as much, but I can understand having that personal interaction with him and, wishing him success. I wish him success too at owning a car wash or something. I don't really just want to see him in the ring anymore.
Yeah. He screwed himself up. I don't even blame even the booking at this point with him. It's himself in many ways, but it is what it is. They still haven't given up on him though, man.
I also, I understand not giving up on him. Like, I'm not expecting, when I say this, a lot of it's just for the content here.
Of course.
It's not like I really think they're just going to release Hangman or whatever. No, they don't release anybody.
None of us
that's not going to happen. But,
right.
I've seen a little bit of chatter here and there. And it seems that some people actually really think that Hangman has a shot at beating Will Ospreay in this Owen final.
Hell no. And I'll eat my words if I'm wrong, but there's no chance in how this is all building for Ospreay and All In, man. Like, that's what it is. We've said this since the last All In, pretty much. That's what they're building to, man. It's all about Ospreay. That's their guy. They see him as their guy too. Good luck to him.
Yeah. Well, here's one of my guys, Stokely Hathaway. He unfortunately is tasked with managing FTR, but I won't hold that against him. They're going to come out and they're going to confront Tony Schiavone about the stuff that he said on commentary. And Schiavone's actually going to bow up a little bit, and he's going to shove Stokely Hathaway. Or no, he gets shoved. Wait, who shoves who?
Into his chair. No, he grabs. He kind of gets close. I'm talking about Schiavone.
Right.
Body.
Yeah, he gets pushed down. And he stands back up.
Right.
All right. And then they answer the challenge that Daniel Garcia laid out with the crowbar at the end of Collision last week. So.
Josh wants to know. He wonders if the professor likes Stokely. I'm pretty sure he does, actually. And no, he's not, Scotty. Come on now.
Yeah,
really ain't losing to Hangman, bro.
There is a 5% chance that Hangman will go over because people are insane, but it's only because people are insane. It's not because it's a good idea, because there's nowhere to go.
It's not. Liz brings up an interesting point, though, and she's not talking about the Hangman match, but basically, so they're doing Gunther and Pat. Yeah, they are.
Right.
Just worse.
Well, Tony Schiavone definitely can't go, so
no,
there's no, But yes, it's hard not to notice that that's clearly an answer. So, Anna Jay and Harley are hyping up and warming up, and then we get a four-way random. Okay, now this was weird to me. It's a title eliminator, which normally a one-on-one match, but in this case, it's Toni Storm versus 3 other chicks in a fatal 4-way.
Right.
And if, obviously if anybody wins besides Tony, she gets, they get a title shot, but
But it doesn't matter.
Have they ever done this like this before?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter anyway, because Tony ends up winning anywho. So it's in the end, it's all irrelevant.
Well, a lot happened here.
A lot happened though.
For what? There's a spot where Penelope comes up and kicks Tony Storm right in the fucking pussy.
I mean, I'm sure that was planned.
No, you think?
No shit.
Of course it was planned, but it still happened.
I know, but well, considering her promo on Collision, for example, too, I know it wasn't technically about that, but you know what I'm saying? It makes sense why they would have done something stupid like that anyway, dude.
Yeah. We saw a Boston centipede as opposed to a crab. You like
centipede. Look, the match wasn't too bad for what it was, man. It was kind of entertaining.
Okay, well, here's what was bad. Megan comes out and starts fighting people.
Yeah.
And then Harley comes out and she's got that same fucking pipe that every wrestler has, the same size, length pipe, and just absolutely does the shittiest shit. Not only did she not hit Megan with the pipe with any sort of like ferocity or velocity or anything, they did a spot where she clotheslined her over.
Yeah.
Harley Cameron, the ventriloquist.
Yes.
Clotheslines Megan Bain over the top rope.
She's a beast in AEW. Don't you see it? You've seen it now for months, bro. Like, come on. She's an animal now.
Yeah.
She feels the wrath, dude.
Yeah, so apparently this is what happens, when you actually swing the weapon even though it looked like shit. But yeah, Thunder Rosa, who was in this match, by the way, in case anybody was keeping score, it was Tony Storm versus Thunder Rosa versus Penelope versus Anna Jay. So that was your competitors here. But, Rosa didn't do so good by walking up with the chair and then not using it. So Harley Cameron showed her this is how you use a weapon and then proceeded to fail at using the weapon. But whatever. For story purposes, she beat Megan all the way back to the backstage area using that lovely pipe. And then Tony gets a revenge pussy kick on Penelope and puts the chicken wing on her for the win.
And that's that. So what was the whole point of this eliminator? Nothing. No point. That's probably why they said what they said and why it's suddenly an eliminator, even though they don't do it like that. It's usually 1-on-1. Because it didn't matter. Tony Storm was going to win anyway. Storm's been funny, though, man. Is she overdoing it, though, at this point?
Depends. Some people would say she's not doing enough, then, if this is entertaining.
She's trying. I'll give her that.
Yeah, it's not for me.
It's not for me either, but I can see her giving it a red hot go, as Australians like to say.
All right. Remember what I said earlier about wrestlers taking a seat? Well, here comes the crew.
Oh, God.
They're going to come out and, they're going to make their way through the crowd so they can take their seats. And then the Hurt Syndicate shows up. And they're like, hey, we're the tag team champions. Someone needs to step up. We need to hurt somebody, so somebody has to step up.
So
who steps up? Who steps up but Top Flight? Which,
wow, what a team.
It's interesting. I guess the crew was psychic to know that Top Flight were going to answer this because they had to come out like right at this exact time. I guess that was a coincidence, right?
I mean, sure. Coincidence, definitely.
Right. So Top Flight is actually at microphones and they're trying to cut a promo how they're going to answer this. And then we get Bunkhouse MJF come down and kicks the shit out of both of them. He destroys them even. He's got blood on his pristine white tank top.
That's true. He's wife beater.
Mm-hmm. He's a Top Flight beater. He's wearing his flight beater.
I see what you did there. That's nice.
I hope that Layla Gray is okay. I hope he didn't punch her on his way out.
If she was even in the building. But yeah, man, there goes Top Flight. They've crashed.
Mm-hmm.
They're done.
Crash and burn.
Crashed and burn.
Yeah, so that happens, and then he gets in the ring, MJF does, Bunkhouse MJF, and says, I hurt people. And he's basically daring Bobby Lashley to give him a thumbs down at this point. And Bobby Lashley says, well, I'll let you know next week. come back next week.
Are you sick of this at this point? And I love all these guys, but
No,
we
it's
need
the
to
only
get
thing we've
somewhere.
got.
Well, yeah, that's facts. That's the only thing I look forward to. As a matter of fact,
Well, it
with
sounded like
actual
you weren't looking
excitement.
forward to it.
No, I was. I just feel like we didn't get enough. You know what I mean? We're
Well,
getting
he
the
hurt
same
somebody.
old-
What else? That was what was supposed to happen next. What else
Is
were
that
we supposed to get?
impress me? Clearly, like top flight. He hurt top flight. He hurt some big dudes. If there
It was
is
two
any.
guys.
Okay,
He's only one
fine.
guy.
That's true. But he's MJF though. Come on.
Yeah.
he's the guy.
Uh,
Well, Josh actually says one thing before you move on, Vet. Do you think this is where they could be going? MJF versus Lashley. If MJF wins, he joins the group. But then wouldn't he get jealous of that? It wouldn't work.
yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that, or I certainly don't think they should.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't do it like that either. Only because it just ends up with a weird predicament, but that's just me.
Yeah. Speaking of weird predicaments, Ricochet daps up the Elite, but then the Elite goes to go in their dressing room, and the Death Riders are already there waiting for them.
You gave him the key.
Very ninja magic type stuff.
Ninja magic.
You would have thought the Elite probably came out of their own dressing room, and they probably weren't there at the time.
Hey, man, they're mystical, okay?
All right. Well, Nick Wayne has an open challenge for his Ring of Honor television championship, and his mystery opponent is, and should I remind you, we're in Detroit.
Well, it's Rhino. It's
Yeah.
the gore. I mean,
Yeah.
shit. Cool. It's not like I haven't seen him in 10 years, so it wasn't that much of a big deal. The guy still pretty much gets around the indies. Cool, man. That was cool, I guess, to see him in AEW, and that was it. He ends up losing anyway to Nick Wayne. And to top it off, we're still getting a lot of tension between Christian and Nick Wayne. I mean, can Christian really be jealous of that TV championship? I get it. It's because it's his, son that's champion and not him. But still, man, I think they've hit a roadblock with this storyline, in my opinion, dude.
Well, I mean, Nick Wayne's not going to be there for a while, so they
That's
really,
true.
whether they hit the roadblock or whether the roadblock was just put there, it's still stopping.
It's stopping either way, right?
Yeah,
True.
Christian goes to put the belt on him like he has before, and then he just lets it drop to the ground and walks off.
That's heat, brother.
Now, as for Rhino, people use the term jobbed out a lot. This is what it looks like. This is what jobbed out looks like, because this was shorter than most of the enhancement matches that they have on these same shows. Like, there's going to be people you've never heard of pulling more time than Rhino pulled in this match, which I guess, he doesn't get paid by the hour, so he's fine with it, but it doesn't necessarily look good.
Yeah, but I don't think it really matters at this point for Rhino, man. I mean, he's pretty much at the end of his career, per se. I think he's actually happy to put him over, dude. I don't think it bothered him one bit.
There's a difference between putting somebody over and getting jobbed.
Fair point.
That's why
Got
I'm
jobbed.
who I am and you are
Right.
who you are.
Well, yes.
Roosh is mad at Kevin Knight for some reason.
Why?
I don't know.
What's going
Guess
on
he just
here?
doesn't like him.
See,
all
this
right.
is the shit that bothers me, Vant.
Just the randomness.
It's just the total randomness, man. Give me some context, dude. Like, what's going on? Like, I've been watching every week, and even I'm still confused. Like,
He didn't say much. He basically just said his catchphrases.
cool.
So I don't know
whatever,
why.
man. Yeah.
Maybe
Neither do I, Vant.
maybe somebody else knows, but I don't
If anyone does, point it out, please. I'd like to know.
know. All right. Next we have a special six-man all-star six-man tag match. I guess
Special, they say.
it's Swerve
It's
Ball
every
Briscoe
fucking week.
versus Buckashay.
Buckashay, I like that. Yeah, I mean, cool. Again, I hate these matches, Vet. What if, especially when it's Buckashay as a team, you know what we're gonna get. I mean, I was zoned out at this match. I can't. We haven't
Arm
too
pump
much.
spot.
Yeah, dude. Why do they put the special in this when we get it every week?
Well, it's special every week.
I see.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, they just do spots. Like if Private Party was out here, they'd be like spots, 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 spots,
Instead of shots.
spots.
I like it.
See how Jimmy thought I was going one way, and
I got it. I knew what you were doing.
you didn't know what I was doing.
You said spots. I get it.
Yeah, but
Like
but before I said that, as soon as I said Private Party, you got irritated because you imagined Private Party in this match.
That's true.
Right. Stop jumping the gun. Just relax. Okay. Just relax. I know you're super hyped up because you got to see an all-star 6-man that you don't normally get to see.
Come on.
So your adrenaline's pumping.
It's very rare.
You're going to pass out. So just relax. And this had a super hype finish where Matt Jackson cradles up Swerve in a small package and beats him 1, 2, 3.
Holy shit.
The invincible Swerve Strickland, the man who drinks blood, got small packaged and beat by Matt Jackson.
What are they doing with Swerve even at this point? Surely he can't be that happy, right? They're going backwards with him now. They're cooling him off.
I don't know. I'm just looking at this as like, well, at least Mark Briscoe didn't get pinned.
True. At least. That's
I don't
true.
really care about Swerve anymore. You could take a lot of the stuff that I said. You could take a
Swerve,
lot of the stuff I said about Hangman and apply it to Swerve now. So
100% spot on.
So yeah. Scott says, does AEW have enhancement talent? Well, they do bring them in from time to time.
Even the ones that they've released, apparently, it seems to.
Whenever I say it's, the Hurt Business versus some guys or whatever, that's who I'm talking about. Some guys. All right. Renee is with Will Ospreay trying to ask him a question, but Bunkhouse MJF interrupts this. I'm not going to go over word for word what they said, but it was definitely MJF had some good lines.
Yeah, he was even putting on the British accent. You know what I mean? He's like, "Hello, Will." You know what I mean? Which is kind of funny on MJF, but cool. You know what's funny? He said something and I forgot what it was, but it popped Ospreay, I think, legitly. He said something. What was it, man? But it made Ospreay actually laugh pretty hysterically. It didn't actually make MJF laugh. He actually stayed staunch. But Ospreay started actually laughing, and then he got serious again because MJF didn't crack. You know what I mean? But whatever it was, I knew it was funny, but I've forgotten the line, man. But it was pretty good.
I thought I would remember it, and that's why I didn't write it, but I should have wrote it.
Yeah,
I know because I know what popped me that he said, but now I can't remember the line.
See, I know that same here. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I know that popped me, but I forgot what it was. But I know what it was, if that makes sense.
All right. Well, Renee is going to move on from that, and she's going to sit down with the old semi-pro herself, Jamie Hayter. And this interview only exists so that the CEO can jump her and they start fighting. And then they fight out to the stage. And basically, after some back and forth, it ends with Mercedes getting the statement maker. And there you go. Now, I should
look
say,
like a dummy, bro.
I should say that for some strange reason, during the New Japan's American show Resurgence that happened this weekend.
Did you watch that?
No. Are you fucking kidding me? No.
Right.
Hell no.
Right.
Fuck no. What?
All right,
no.
All right. Calm down, man.
No. But they did show this later, but it was Mercedes lost the New Japan Strong title, so she lost one of her belts in a triple threat because Azumi pinned Mina Shirakawa in a triple threat.
Right.
why do you want to take a belt off of Monet when she's going into this big match coming up?
Is it really? Could AEW even have a decision on this? Really, this could have been all New Japan, obviously.
No, but you. I mean, why would they? I don't even know why New Japan would want to do it. First of all, Azumi is the one person that's not going to be living in America. Unless I miss some headlines, I know that Mercedes lives in America and Mina Shirakawa is just now moving to America so she can work here.
The Strong's title, is it not? Which is
yes, the Strong title is for the United States contingent. So why put it on Azumi?
I don't know what to tell you.
This is why New Japan sucks. They don't know what they're doing anymore.
But
nobody does,
bro. How do they go blank? This is what I don't understand, dude. How does this happen? Is it a phenomena? What's going on, dude?
Todd, not because New Japan. This didn't used to be like that.
I know.
Their booking used to make sense.
That's why I'm confused, dude. Is it a
also
new phenomena?
When it comes to New Japan Strong, how much does the actual New Japan office care about what happens over here?
I don't think they really give a shit.
Do they even book this stuff, or do they just leave it up to whoever? Do they leave it to Rocky? Is this Rocky?
Oh, yeah, it's Rocky, dude. I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, my God. We're not done talking about him either. But anyway, look. The point is, regardless of our speculation, Mercedes is down one belt. And I wouldn't be taking any hardware off of her until, the big payoff match that's coming up between, obviously, her and Tony, because she's got to win that Owen. She has to. It's ridiculous if she doesn't. And the only reason that she wouldn't is because they just want to swerve us for the sake of swerving us, but it's not.
That's just
good.
Shit else if they do that, dude. No, she still will win it, but yeah, it diminishes her just a tiny bit. I don't think it really matters probably to the AEW, sickos really in their eyes. But technically, yeah, I don't know why they would randomly choose to do it now, and especially like you said, to the female that's not even going to be in the US, on a consistent basis. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe she will be, but yeah, I have no idea why they would actually make that decision.
Well, a lot of people do want to leave Stardom. Maybe
why
Azumi's
is that?
next.
What's going on there?
I don't know. Alicia is with Willow, and apparently Chris Statlander's still stalking Willow, trying to apologize and everything. And Willow's still not interested in being her friend. She says maybe we could get in the ring and have a match. Maybe that. And
we get that.
Yeah. Not now, though.
Not
right now, we get Kazuchika Okada versus the Jet Kevin Knight.
Random, pretty different type of matchup. I mean, I was intrigued, to be honest, at first.
Yeah. Well, once again, the actual best wrestler alive pulls off exactly what needed to be pulled off, pretty much. Now, I assume that if it was up to completely him, he would have done this a little bit differently. But based on what he was asked to do, I think if they told him a certain amount of time that he needed to get out of this for TV, then that's what he did, and he did the best he could. But what happens is...
over.
Please, Jimmy, let me just...
Sorry.
I'll pitch it to you when it's your turn.
Okay, I got excited.
Yeah, I know. You're the adrenaline. You're still hype about.
Stop! No.
Still hype about that small package on Swerve.
Oh yeah.
Earlier.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, but Roosh comes out and tenderizes Kevin Knight because remember he hates him.
Right.
So he beats the shit out of him, throws him into the barricades and the stairs and all. He shows him the Hearns and all that stuff. And then Kevin Knight just crawls in the ring and the referee's like, I guess ring the bell. He's good. But the best part about it was just Okada's face watching this because he obviously had nothing to do with it. So he's sitting there in the ring just like, yep, this is happening. And it was great.
Sorry. No, I was going to ask you a question. Do you think, like, with Okada... Do you think he'd be disappointed with how he's being perceived? I know he's strong. Don't get me wrong. He's booked strong. Like, he doesn't lose. But he looks bored, dude. Sort of, if that makes sense. I feel like he needs to like stimulate his freaking brain a little more in AEW. Give him something meaningful, man. He's done really nothing meaningful. You know what I'm saying? I know he's champion and whatnot, but like, we need something, bro. Like, something.
I can't presume to speak for him what he thinks, but based on just his general, I mean, based on looking at the situation the way I would look at it, it's like I'll deliver on exactly the level I'm supposed to deliver on. I don't know if he's bored because he's kind of done everything, so you know, he's here for the money, right?
Okay, if that's the case, then by all means, get paid, man.
Right.
If he's cool with that, then so am I.
Yeah, and I think one thing he's always done is he's worked up to whatever was needed. I don't think he's lazy in the slightest, although he's been accused of it.
Absolutely not.
But I don't think you should. But if you're, you know, looking bored, I mean, I don't know. He kind of has a lot of facial expressions that he brings out. So,
and he's got a good poker face too, I must say.
Yeah. So, anyways, he ends up, you know, telling the story of Kevin Knight being valiant. Maybe gave him a little too much, but whatever. That's probably what they wanted. They probably wanted Kevin Knight to shine a little bit. So he does that. He keeps him alive long enough. It's very similar to it's similar in a way to the Pat McAfee thing we just saw, you know, like just keeping him alive.
Like a watered down version.
Yeah. And then, but he does hit him with a Rainmaker and beats him. Great bump on the Rainmaker by Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight's good. Then he picks him up and starts clotheslining him repeatedly because maybe he is bored after all. And then Speedball Mike Bailey runs out to save, and Okada takes a powder at that point. I know you're a big fan of Speedball.
I like his kicks, and that's about it. That's the truth, right? His kicks look pretty devastating. But I just feel like, you know, he always has to get up in everybody's business. I hope Okada takes him out, dude, if we go to a match between them two. I truly hope that.
Yeah, I feel like they might not get to that, but maybe.
Probably not. You're probably right. You just don't know with AEW because you just don't. They just, yeah.
Yeah, I think well, I don't know. We'll see. All right, Don Callis cuts a promo on the Outrunners, talking about him being he actually wrestled in the 80s, you know, and all this stuff. So,
that's cool, but that was all right. It's funny.
Yeah, at least most of the other people didn't talk.
Right.
Alicia catches the Hurt Syndicate, and they give her nothing as usual. And then our main event tonight is Samoa Joe versus Claudio Castagnoli. Yeah. Obviously, without watching it, 8 stars. It was great. Certainly, everybody should go out of their way to watch it. Samoa Joe wins with the Coquina clutch.
That's
and then the Sharks swim around the ring and try to circle, and then Hobbs comes in with a chair, and they keep all the Sharks at bay, and they proceed to beat the shit out of Claudio with the chairs.
While the Sharks scatter.
Yeah.
Good friends. Freaking dick riders. Seriously. Have you noticed with the dick riders, they're starting to plateau, man. Like, this story is really plateauing. I don't think they even know. Oh, God. Just before I continue. Cold-blooded.
Yeah, no plateau here. We are on the uptick. Thank you, Cold-blooded.
That one's for you, man. Thanks once again, my man. We really appreciate it. But yeah, like, at this point, it's getting very stale, and I don't think AEW even knows where they're going with this.
Well, they're going all in.
See what you did there. They definitely will be. When is the right time actually to cut this shit loose now? I mean, by all in, would you cut it loose?
Well, yeah, once once John Moxley is no longer the champion, I don't know if there's anything left for the Death Riders.
Right. No, you're probably right. I feel like at this point, get the belt off him, man. He's lost a lot of momentum. There's no hype anymore. I think it's time for a new champ. I'm just bored with this whole storyline now, if you want to call it that.
Well, the best part was that Claudio did get a chair beating, so
we
can all enjoy that.
Absolutely.
And that is it for Dynamite. And now it's time for the collision. So let's sift through this wreckage as we...
A lot more wreckage on this one.
Yeah, a little bit more. As we go to Tony Storm from the balcony in black and white.
What the fuck was going on here,
It's the usual nonsense from her, but go ahead and comment on it.
There's a lot of nonsense on here, man. She's basically elaborating like she's having an orgy, basically. But she tells everybody that, you know, if you're thinking like in a sexual way, he's all dirty pretty much. It was very well done in that sense. She was funny, dude. She made me laugh. I'll say that. She's good at what she does, except, you know, just the way she puts it, it's hilarious. Like, you really think, you know, it's just her wordplay is perfect, man. But again, other than that, I'm really, I don't know where you go with his character anymore. I think it's been done for too long. But at this point, I think I don't know if we're ever going to see the old Tony Storm again, dude, because she's got way more personality like this, and I think she likes that compared to her normal self. I think it's going to be hard for her to transition just being normal and not saying much anymore compared to this version. You know what I mean?
Maybe she'll know when the time is right.
I hope so.
Maybe she'll just stick with this until she thinks of what the next thing is. As far as it, you know, as far as the content of it, I think we both discussed in the past multiple times. RJ City is very funny, and that's a reason why this is what it is. It just, to me, I don't like it in wrestling. That's all.
Right. No, yeah, me too. I agree.
I don't know what else it would be, but
I don't think. What would it be?
But in any case, that's what it is.
But RJ is very underrated. I'll give him that. I didn't think too much of him at first, but the more I looked into him, the more I started seeing why they've got him around. Absolutely. I think he'd be good if they let him actually do some creative shit, like properly. I think he'd have a few good ideas, man.
Yeah. Well, here's a good idea. I know this. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to talk about this because Lexi is with the Paragon, and guess who shows up? Guess who shows up in the Paragon's interview? Because you know they couldn't just have an interview. They got to get interrupted, right? But guess who interrupts the Paragon? But the grizzled young veterans.
Didn't I talk about these idiots just a week ago, and now I conjured them?
You see, yeah, you said their name and they appeared.
Jesus Christ. I can't stand them, dude. I know you don't mind them, particularly only one of them, but I don't know, man. I just hope we don't see Gallus next. Yeah, well, after 90 days or 30 days, whatever it is for NXT, because you know you're going to see them there too, man. I don't know, bro.
Please
I got
don't.
a bad feeling. Yeah, I know.
I can only hope that Joe Coffey's speaking out allegations will keep him away from this locker room.
Oh, God.
You know, because it's a very inclusive locker room that doesn't have time for sexual predators or whatnot.
That's true. Very inclusive, like extremely, actually.
Yeah,
that's true.
Just keep them away. Just send them back to fucking Progress or whatever.
I'm sure they will be going back there.
Yeah, grizzled. All right. Here, for one reason or another, this is probably the highlight of the week.
Really?
This is, oddly enough, the highlight of the week starts out as Ricochet versus Angelico.
Oh,
which that doesn't sound like a highlight right off the bat because you're
Where
like,
the
what?
fuck is Angelico been?
Yeah, remember what I said about enhancement talent, Scott?
Right.
So this guy's still here. I don't know if he's still signed, but he's still here and he's coming in to work this. He's got Serpentico with him. Immediately as Angelico comes out during his entrance, I'm like, I mean, he's already more entertaining than most of the things that we're seeing, you know, just, I he's just a weird fucking guy. I don't get it, but I like it kind of, but I don't like it, or maybe I hate that I like it. I'm not sure.
You're confused by
yeah.
the
What's
sound of
what's
it.
your take on Angelico?
I know what you're saying, dude. You know what it is? Like, you know, I know it sounds dumb, but when you see, you know, do that stupid. We used to,
He's like when he like
I'm in
shimmies
my
out of his
mind.
ring jacket.
It's kind of funny. I'll say that, and you said it best. It's like you hate yourself liking it. You know what I mean? Because really, it's stupid as hell. But for whatever reason, that kind of pops me all the time, and I don't even know why. It's just so stupid, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's so bad that it's good. Maybe it's one of those things. But I get totally what you mean, man.
Yeah. Well, Todd says maybe I need therapy because I like it. Maybe I do. I might need to. I don't know who to talk to about it.
True. Maybe you can go to his former tag team partner.
Jack Evans.
Yeah, what's happened
You know,
to Jack Evans? Isn't he Mexico or some shit?
I don't know, but last time I saw him, he was on so much gas and sweating that I assume he may have died of a heart attack and nobody found him yet.
Wow. I know he used to sweat a lot, like, because he's not a big guy, man. Like, it doesn't make sense the way he sweats, but you saying that he's gassed and sweaty.
Packed on quite a bit of muscle.
Wow. I got to see that.
Well, that was years ago now. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
weird,
this match with his former tag team partner, there was a chant from the crowd for Ricochet, which the chant was, he has hair, as in referencing Angelico, right? Like, he has hair and you don't.
Right.
They also chant stuff like, you're still bald, you know, like they've been chanting that. And it's just funny to me because, you know, I've for years I've told you guys Ricochet was a major player.
You have.
I told you that he was working this heel thing when he was doing the stuff on interviews of social media.
Like what happened with
I knew this was going to happen, and I knew he was going to get over as a heel. But it's still impressive because, dude, everybody in fucking wrestling is bald now. Like, there's not even any guys that aren't bald anymore, and they're still trying to he's still getting heat for being bald. That's what's genius about it. You know?
Right. But you know what I'm starting to see a lot, man? He reminds me of the way he sells shit now, because it's very comedic the way he's been selling shit. Mm-hmm. He's very Shawn Michaels-esque, dude, if you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And it's starting to annoy me a little bit, just a little bit, like, because he's overselling now a little bit. I think he needs to just calm it a little bit down, but still, he's hitting it out the park for what it is, man. I just don't know how long you can run with this sort of. He's a bit of a goof now, if you get where I'm coming from.
Yes, but I guess that's what he needs to be, because he can't be cool,
right?
Because otherwise, then he's following my rule of how you get over as a babyface again. So he's got to, so he's got to be actually exactly what he's doing.
Cold-blooded, saying I felt attacked when they chanted that. I wonder why.
So it's working. And he does, and of course he beats Angelico. It takes a while.
He should. I know.
But he's also doing the same thing of like, I could end this anytime, but I'm prolonging it, and then, you know, it just ends up going longer. So, for some strange reason, as he gets the microphone and starts talking shit, Zach Gowen is in the audience.
What the hell?
If you remember him.
Absolutely.
The one-legged wrestler.
What? Wait a minute.
Do we have breaking news here?
No way, dude.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm going to look that up quickly, man. Like, that just threw me off. Only because he had that crazy match a couple weeks ago, I think.
Oh, right. Was that part of the GCW?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
During WrestleMania weekend?
Yeah. Doesn't say. Oh, what? Nah, I don't see nothing about that.
He's claiming PW Insider reported it. So.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me go there quickly. Because it's not coming up just on the Google search. But that's fucked, man. I'm assuming it is true, obviously, but it's funny that it's not even coming up in Google right now. But PW Insider, if they're reporting it, and I'll just got to double check that because I'm kind of shocked from that, dude. Like, that's a bit shocking to me. Oh yeah, he did pass away, dude, 14 minutes ago. Wow. Fuck, that's sad, man. I mean, yeah, rest in peace, Sabu, man. I just what bothers me about that is the fact that that match was just that barbed wire match in GCW. He went way overboard for a paycheck, man. I felt, and I just wonder if that even had anything to do with it, man. And if so, I don't know, man. But yeah, it's another one gone, man. All right, Peter Sabu. Thank you, Misfit Wrestling Podcast, for actually telling us that. But sad news, dude.
Yeah, we'll definitely need some time to gather our thoughts and process that for the next whatever the next show is that we do.
Yeah.
Well, let's
that.
just continue with this show. So Zach Gowen's in the audience. Ricochet starts talking shit to him. Zach Gowen wants to fight him. Here comes security to protect to keep Zach Gowen from jumping over the barricade with his one leg. And Ricochet beats up all the security guards while still cutting a promo on the microphone.
Oh, dude, the way he beat him up with the microphone too, like one by one. Like, what's that game with where you
Whack-a-mole?
the alligators? Yeah, that's it. Like, literally, boom, 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 boom. They felt like fucking dominoes. It's stupid but funny.
Yeah. So anyway, he beats up the 3 security guards and drags one in the ring and gets his golden scissors out and starts cutting his hair.
Yeah.
And then Zach Gowen hops the barricade because now there's no security to stop him. And he gets in the ring and he grabs the scissors out of Ricochet's hand. And all of a sudden, he takes his eyes off the prize for one moment, and Ricochet kicks his good leg out from under him and rips off his fake leg and steals it and takes it up the ramp and even puts his knee in the fake prosthetic leg and starts limping up the ramp.
And then we went to commercial at that point, which is perfect.
Yes. So
that was good.
This was good shit. This whole thing was entertaining. And again, just a great showcase of Ricochet, and a good angle here. And they even covered some of the bases of like, why was Zach Gowen just get in there? Because they had security out there.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's not perfect, but it's better than AEW usually does. That's why I'm giving it credit now.
I liked it too. Absolutely, man. It's one of the shining lights right now.
And then,
in AEW.
Right. So saying all that, like now we're on our a la carte menu. They served us this. I ate it. A-. I like it. You know, four stars
good.
out of 5, or 2.5 on the Michelin scale, whatever.
Absolutely.
So I'm liking it, but I'll show you how they ruined it. So the Don Callis family comes out, and this is, I believe this version is Trent, Rocky,
yeah, RPG,
and excuse me, RPG.
I hate that fucking term, the way they're using it. But yeah,
and Lance Archer. Okay, so New Japan reunion.
right.
And wait, was one other person was here, right?
Lance Archer. Did we say that?
No, another person. It was an 8-man, so it was, and Cage wasn't there.
No.
Who else is in the Callis family?
Like I said, it was Archer, RPG. I don't know why
That's
I'm
3.
going blank on the other one. Damn.
Was it Fletcher? It wasn't Fletcher, was it?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, man.
Really?
He's wearing his pink tights, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember, he was getting beat down a lot of the fucking match.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, the opponents are the Outrunners, AR Fox, and Bandito.
It was definitely Carl Fletcher, dude. I remember now.
All right. So there that is. They do this move or whatever to beat AR Fox, because you know it's going to be AR Fox getting beat. And you know, Trent's trying to sell it like he's crazy now, like he's got the crazy eyes.
Fuck off, Trent. Fuck off.
Oh, there
seriously.
you have it.
Seriously, fuck him, dude. Like Trent Beretta, and I used to like Rocky Romero, but even him now, fuck him. Fuck them both. Fuck Roppongi Vice. Fuck RPG. Whatever. What I use a video game literally now, like whatever, man. I don't give a fuck about these guys anymore. Straight up.
All right. Remember how I said they ruined it?
Yeah.
So it's already at this point in the show that they have a graphic for Wednesday for Ricochet and Zach Gowen.
Why,
man? You know, we have to talk to Zach Gowen so he doesn't sue us. We have to, have some interview with him. We have to show him on TV. We have to
build
whatever.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, we have to give him an all elite graphic. Because can we get some reason why you've somehow made within 10 minutes, you've made a match between a guy that was just sitting in the crowd that we haven't seen on AEW before. Have we seen Zach Gowen on AEW
never,
before?
Not that I remember. I haven't seen him, dude, since friggin' probably WWE. I mean, I've heard about him here and there, but literally, the last time I literally saw him on my television was definitely WWE. I think he was in TNA here and there too, wasn't he, Vet?
I think so. I mean, for a guy with one leg, he gets around, but I mean, it was so good, and then they did this.
I mean, we could have gotten a little bit of a build to something. I think it would have been entertaining, even some sort of mic thing, like, you know what I mean? Like a segment between these two would have been funny, but they shot their loads, man, right away.
All right.
No patience whatsoever with these guys, man.
Well, normally when you shoot a load, you have to have a hard dick. And if anything's going to soften that for you, it's going to be a Jon Moxley video.
Oh, yes. Boy, do you get on the flop in 2 seconds once you see Moxley. Yeah, fucking hell, dude. I'm so done with Moxley too, bro. Like, bad. And it's not because of him. I'm not trying to be personal. I'm just bored of what is he? Like, do something new. Do something different, man. Stop mumbling and rambling.
Liz says Sahara. As in, that's how dry the ladies get when Jon Moxley's on the screen.
I know she's been on fire about that shit lately on shows, man. Like a few days ago, she was going hard, like on shit, which is funny. Liz, keep being you, man. Never change.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And Cold Blood is saying about the prosthetic leg thing. Yeah, because remember, didn't they just do that with Street Profits?
Yeah, in WWE. Last week. Yeah, it's true. A random fan, apparently.
Yeah, so of course they're just going to do this immediately after. Or just like you said about the McAfee thing and Shivani.
Yeah, it's bizarre, bro. Like, is it a thing? Like, I want to know what Tony thinks. Like, is it out of, like, because it reminds me of very, like, childish shit, dude. Like, I'm going to do it because they're doing it type of deal. Like,
yeah, I mean, WWE does this too, but it's like, I mean, they shouldn't do it either.
I know.
It's like, true. You shouldn't be jabbing each other over this kind of stuff because it just looks a little bit silly.
Stupid. It does, yeah.
Most people probably won't make the connection, but you don't even want the people that do make it to make it. You don't want anybody to make it. Do your own things,
man. Do your own things, man. It's no big deal. You're not missing on anything, fucking Tony. Trust me.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And this one is way too specific, too. Like, the announcer thing, you could argue, because announcers have gotten involved in wrestling many times over the years. But a prosthetic leg, that's very, very extremely specific, man.
Yeah.
So,
no,
anyways.
Man.
Yeah. So, the Mox promo video. And then we get the 5-tool player. Speaking of tools, we're erect again. 5-tool player. Yeah. Versus it's Shotty Lee Johnson.
What is even with him? They've lately they've been using him, but there's no context to this guy. He's still the same shoddy, like no personality.
He's just Blake Christian's manager, but for some reason he's the one that gets a match with Anthony Bowens. So
Whoa.
it's like you've got to get through shoddy to get to the vanilla baby.
I know, it's whatever. It is what it is, man. And I hate the vanilla baby, dude. Get off my TV screen too. That guy can get fucked. Straight up, Blake Christensen, fuck off. Like, just go.
All right. Anyway, Bowens does cut a promo after, so there you go. Gates of Agony. This is the first time I've seen them wearing clothes before. They come out to the ring.
Good point.
They're always in loincloths and
true,
trunks and stuff, just naked basically. And
I
they actually got t-shirts and pants on. They come out, they get the microphones. They're like, "Hey, Learning Tree, get out here. We're going to kick your fucking ass." And then the Learning Tree comes out and they get in a fight, believe it or not.
Wow.
And everyone ends up going through tables, believe it or not.
Everyone.
They both pair up and fall off of both sides of the stage through tables. They were conveniently placed there.
Who put them
Amazing.
there, I wonder?
What are the odds? And it's so fitting that the upcoming pay-per-view is Double or Nothing, because you would really have made a lot of money if you bet that this would happen on one of those prop betting sites.
But
how many tables will Gates of Agony and Learning Tree fall through in their random skirmish on Collision? If you had 2, you won big.
I mean, I want to like the Gates of Agony. They got so much potential.
Mm-hmm.
But again, are they going to take him serious ever? Probably not.
Nah. And why should they? They both look like they could fuck somebody up. So why should you take them seriously? If you guys want, there's a free YouTube show called Limpin' Ain't Easy with our friend Timmy Baltimore. And one of his recent guests that you'll be able to find on that page is Bishop Khan, which he talked to Bishop Khan for 2 hours. And if you think that Bishop Khan is just as happy about this stuff as we are, then you're probably right. But I don't want to speak for him. Or as LeVar Burton said on Reading Rainbow, don't take my word for it. Go over to Limpin' Ain't Easy and listen to the Bishop Khan interview, and you see if he's just pleased as punch about everything that goes on. But that's neither here nor there. The only thing that went on here was him through a table. So, there you go.
Sucks, man. Sucks. Yeah. Well, maybe, I don't know, man. Tony's got so many options, but again, if you're a big dude, you know how it goes, Vet.
Yeah.
You're dropping to the little guys. It is what it is.
Yeah, speaking of which, we get a little package on Anna Jay and Megan Bain, and it reminded me, what you just said, it reminded me that the little dude, Harley Cameron, clotheslined Megan Bain over the top rope.
It's scarred you now, hasn't it?
She's basically Nathan Jones,
They're both Aussies. So, yeah, I mean.
And she's clearly
Nathan
as strong
Jones,
as him.
Even stronger. She feels the wrath.
Probably stronger.
She feels the wrath. Hey, they're both from the same state, so there's something to that.
Wow.
Must be the water up.
Has she been locked up?
Australia. Nah.
Oh.
He did. That was legit, by the way. That wasn't a gimmick. That's the truth about Nathan Jones, man. It's actually legit.
We know.
Scary guy, man, too. I mean, that guy in person is a freak.
Yes. Well, he's parlayed his ability to be big and look mean and made a nice movie career out of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's never had major roles, but he's always doing shit.
He's always the big guy that looks mean.
100%, you're right.
The guy that Achilles killed in Troy.
Yeah, remember that? That's a great movie, by the way.
It's a good movie, man.
Absolutely. I haven't seen that in so many years now, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's probably because it's so many years long that you just don't feel like watching it.
No, but I've only ever watched it once, never watched it twice, believe it or not. But I wouldn't mind watching it again. It's been that long.
All right. Oh, we know what Jimmy's doing. Maybe that's the TNT movie of the week. It comes on after Collision. That would be a good.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. No, but instead what we're getting, it's now time for Chris Statlander versus Willow. Former friends, now coming to blows. They have a match. It's probably exactly what you'd imagine it was if you pictured it in your mind. The important thing here is that Wheeler Yuta is going to come down and get the ref's attention so that Marina can get in the ring and choke Willow Nightingale and kick her really hard. And then she ends up draped over the ropes, and Chris Statlander doesn't see any of this, and she comes in and is like, well, guess I'll beat her. Hits her with the Saturday Night Fever and is none the wiser. And Marina's got her heat back off of Willow, and now Willow has even more reason to hate her former friend who keeps trying to apologize because Willow knows that she took advantage of a bad situation.
It's true. And fuck Statlander anyway, too. Another one. See, now I'm getting a bit too out of control.
You can't make me.
Why?
Because I'm not into that. I'm not into aliens.
You are like I fell for it like an idiot, but
yeah.
I take my hat off to you. That was good.
So, yeah. What were you saying about Statlander, though? Fucker?
Well, yeah, not like that, but like
not like that, but like the Hangman way and the Rocky Romero and Trent way.
Get fucked by anyone other than us. How's that?
Okay. Well, speaking of that, perfect segue into a video that signals the return of Dark Sky.
What's the name? Fucking Dark
the
Sky.
Original
That's it.
Dark Sky.
I gotta say it, true. Hold on a minute. I gotta get it ready.
Dark Sky. Original Dark Sky.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that little hype video?
I didn't watch it really that closely. It was too dark. I couldn't see.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. How long has it been? Over a year, it feels like, at least.
It's a long time. She was hurt really bad.
She was hurt real bad. But she's back.
But she's coming back next week.
Next week, right.
Now, does that mean exactly 1 week, meaning she'll be on Collision, or does it mean she'll be on Dynamite because Dynamite technically is also next week? Who knows? Stay tuned and find out, because you're definitely going to want to see Dark Sky. And Frank's Pickle Barrel asks if he's still here. I know he definitely wants to see Dark Sky. So, now here's some people you don't want to see. It's Evil Uno and Alex Reynolds. Probably don't want to see them, if you even remember who they are. But they used to be called the Dark Order, and
they got
I'm not even going to give them the dark treatment, because it's anything but dark. It's very cartoonish and silly, especially now.
Dark Order.
Right, exactly. Dark. Uno is just dressing like late era Mankind with the shirt, and
he's looking like a bum now, literally, dude.
Yeah, he's a bum. Alex Reynolds is the highlight of Alex Reynolds' career is when he got knocked out for a shoot in the match, and they dragged him to his own corner in a tag team match.
What about Silva? Where's little fucking?
I don't know.
Dick?
I don't know. I wondered that too. Odd pairing. He wasn't even out there to manage, so I don't know.
The fact that they're even still a thing, I'm surprised.
Yeah. Well, they're only here so that Josh Alexander and Takeshita can throw them around.
Which is fair enough.
Which they do.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck the Dark Order, man.
Fuck the Dark Order.
No, really, I think
they're supposed to be joining the Dark Order, but
no thanks. That one stage they did half decent with all that.
Technically, sorry, Jimmy, I'm sorry to interrupt, but technically, I just want to let you know that technically, I think I'm still in the Dark Order.
You?
Yeah.
Did you sign up at Dark
Yeah,
Order?
Remember when they had the sign up?
I remember that.
And it took them forever to reply, but eventually I got an email, but I didn't get anything else. Like I didn't get a certificate. I didn't get a membership card. I didn't get a badge, a button. I didn't get a pencil topper. I didn't get anything for joining the Dark Order except that they told me I was in. So like technically as long as they're around, I guess because I haven't gotten any excommunication papers, I'm still technically in it. So I guess I just back on Thursday night, I guess I took an L, technically.
Maybe.
I haven't wrestled in a long time, but if I'm part of a faction, I guess that counts as an L for me. How do the AEW do the records? Do they add like, well, you're in, you take a L as a group. Like, is that how it is? Or you got to be technically in the match? I'm not sure.
That's actually a good question. Do you take is it as a group? What I want to know is, do wins and losses matter anymore in AEW?
Oh yeah, definitely.
They do? Okay. And do they still have their system of, their ladder, whatever you want to call it?
I bet they probably do if you were to go to their website, maybe.
Because I feel like conveniently it's been sort of swept under the rug, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, they don't mention it much.
Cold-Blooded said you're a Dark Order reservist, like, part of the reserves.
All right, yeah.
I
don't know if I can make the flights on this shorter notice, though, so I'll probably not have to worry about it.
Fucking Dark Order, man.
You imagine if I was like, let's say AEW brought me in, right? Now, let's say I have a show to do. Like,
Right.
what if they, like on a Wednesday or whatever, like, if I'm supposed to do Next Level Wrestling Review, so I'd have to get all my equipment in the other room, and then people would hear me like talking about
Imagine that.
NXT or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, imagine that. That's all right. It's normal in AEW, probably. They've all probably got their headsets. You know what I mean? They're all doing podcasts. I didn't realize how many wrestlers are actually doing podcasts. There's some people that you
They
don't
all
even
are,
expect.
I assume.
They all are, bro. There's some peeps I don't even hear about that are doing podcasts, and I was like, what? Why haven't I heard that? Yeah, everyone's doing it, dude. Everyone's doing it for real.
All right. Well, next up is Speedball Mike Bailey versus Dralistico. Now, I don't think I need to tell you who wins this match. I might need to tell you how long it takes. But the thing about it was, as I was watching part of this, because God forbid I pay attention to the whole thing, but like even the parts that I watched, and every match of Mike Bailey's that I've seen, since the debut of Mike Bailey to me, whenever that was, the first time I saw him, I looked at this guy and I'm like, the first thing that goes through my mind, talking about being a worker, like I'm like, I ain't taking that. I ain't taking none of that.
His kicks are brutal, dude. It looks.
The kicks are like the least of the problems.
I know.
Like I don't want to do when he does a flip and lands with both his knees. Like he did his moonsaulting knee press on Duralistico, and just like the knees came down right in like the lower pelvis area, like damn near in the balls, and like it had to be knees on pelvis bone. Like it would,
dude.
You can't take care of him on that, because of course you can't. You're doing a backflip and landing on your knees. You can't control. The only thing you can control is that you're gonna fucking hurt the guy. So it's like,
shouldn't do it.
Yeah, man, and all of his stuff looks like that.
Nathan Fraser's the same, dude. If you pay attention to the way Nathan Fraser does his 450s, a lot of the times he hurts people, dude. He hurt one of the Big Deli guys. Yeah. He busted the whole nose the week before, dude, with the 450 splash.
I understand like mistakes being made. It sucks when you go for a move that's supposed to be a splash and you hit somebody in the face accidentally. But like when Mike Bailey hits the stuff exactly the way he means to, it hurts.
Right.
Like it might be,
give a fuck.
It might be safe, but it hurts. It's going to hurt for no reason. And like, I got to do this to you, but what do I get to do to you? It's like, I don't get in the wrestling business or get in the ring. And I don't think like, well, if I get hurt, at least I get to hurt somebody else. I'm not thinking like that. It doesn't make me feel any better if I give you a receipt. Just don't hurt me in the first place with your normal moves.
Yeah, no, it's dangerous, man. 100%. And the way he does it too, it's very like with Venom. Like when I say Venom, I'm talking about it looks hard, bro. It's like he's going right in, and it's like he doesn't give a shit. There's no sort of I don't want to say it's hard to, yeah, like he's not even doing it in a protective, like he just doesn't care. He's just bang, you know what I mean? Like, oh well, like who cares?
I guess. Well, I mean, ultimately it's everybody else's fault for agreeing to it, but I just don't. That's one of the reasons I don't think you're going to see him and Okada in the future, because
oh fuck no,
Okada ain't taking that.
Nah, there's no way he'd agree to that. And if they do
No.
have that one match, he'll never have that match again. But like
Right.
Cold Blooded says,
And he's going to do none of his moves to Okada.
I hope they don't go there, but we'll see.
Yeah, so I would, but to your point about the kicks, like I'm watching this match and I'm just like, yeah, just if I'm Dralistico, if there's some reason that we have to go this long or something, okay, but like if not, I'm be like, dude, I don't need to have a 10-minute match. Just kick me and get it over with so I don't get hurt. Just hit me with that one kick you do, and I'll lay down. It'll get you over, man. You'll beat me in a flash. It'll get you over. Fuck that. I ain't taking all these bumps for you. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, Dralistico did not elect to go that route. He ended up taking the beating, and he lost anyway. And then Roosh came out, and he pointed at Mike Bailey. I guess he's satisfied with how Kevin Knight ended up, because we're not done with that.
Oh, boy. Poor Kevin Knight.
Yeah. So, all right. Here's the best part. We're almost done with the show. We're not only almost done with Collision, we're almost done with our show. And the best part is that Daniel Garcia is in the main event. And you say, but Vet, you said you don't like Daniel Garcia in the main event. So why is that a good thing? And I'll tell you why, because I also said, just like the kendo stick in a match, if Daniel Garcia is in a main event, it is disavowed. I do not have to watch it. So this match was not Daniel Garcia versus whatever member of FTR it was going to be, and I don't know because I didn't watch it because I disavowed it. So not only that, it's not a match between them, it's a match between Daniel Garcia and the fast forward button, and the fast forward button went the hell over. So I have nothing to add. Jimmy, it's all you. You're the main event, buddy.
Man, honestly, I was even zoning out at this match because you know how I feel when it comes to to Garcia and FTR. But I mean, again, how many times have we seen these guys at war at this point? Vet, it's been a few weeks now. It feels like it's been a year even with these guys. Where's the end game with this? Is what I want to know. Like, you know what I mean? What's the real end game with Garcia? Is he going to get over against FTR? Is he going to bring in a friend? Is Cope going to help him out? Like, where are we going with this, Vet?
There you are, asking me where we're going again.
Well, that's what I want to know. I want to know, fuck the match. That's irrelevant because they're always in a match, dude. They're always in a multi-man match generally, except for this time it's a one-on-one. But what's the end game, dude? They should have killed this off a long time ago, man. I feel like.
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You keep asking.
And
you keep asking. I don't know. I keep telling you that don't ask that, and you keep asking. So I don't have an answer for you on day 300 and whatever that I do on day 1. Because I don't care where they're going, and wherever they're going, it's not going to be good enough. So what's the difference? I was just wondering which. I actually don't care, but for the people, maybe they wondered which of the FTR guys actually fought him.
It's the bald one that fought him.
Hollywood Axe the Axe Axon.
That's the one that wrestled.
Since he's so Hollywood, do you think he's going to join the Real American Freestyle?
That's a good question. But what I can tell you is that Daddy Magic shows up in the match. So lucky you that you didn't watch it to fight off Cash Wheeler for Cash Cashton. For interfering behind the referee's back. But you know what's even more stupid? We shouldn't have watched it anyway because it's a no contest. So who cares? No one won.
Yeah, I saw Nigel. I saw Nigel get in the ring too and beat somebody up.
Did he?
Yeah, because when I dragged the thing to the end, it was like almost the end. So I wanted to see if maybe I'll see the finish, but I already went way past the finish. But I did see Nigel McGuinness get in the ring and throw some European uppercuts.
Oh, so. No, you're right. Like, it is fucking stupid because basically he ran into the ring because the brawl between Garcia and fucking Dax Daxton reached the commentary table. Nigel got fed up because of that shit and decides to help out Garcia. And in the end, they're all standing tall too, nobody winning anyway. So, Basically, he just got upset that, you know, like Liz says, Dax pushed Nigel outside the ring and blah, blah, blah. Shit was going on all over the commentary table. Cool.
These spicy commentators, man.
They're getting spicy, actually. Have you noticed that? In AEW especially. And Daddy Magic, fuck off. Another one. Lately, he's been interfering a little too much. Go away. Piss off. Get fucked. Leave me alone. I don't care. What sort of main event is this? You name Daddy Magic for crying out loud. Go away. Do some magic. Oh, God. Liz. Sahara, not your daddy. Not your daddy Magic. Thanks, Josh. I mean, I'm just sick of a lot of these peeps. Straight up. Anyway, so that was your Collision main event. It was nothing. No reason. No winner. Just straight.
How much you want to bet
match.
that next week's Collision we get him versus the other one? Daniel Garcia versus the other,
you're
Cash
right.
Cashin.
It's a freaking Collision thing, especially with these guys. When they're in matches, it tends to happen on Collision instead of Dynamite. And again, I'm not going to care about it, man. What's the bet? Nigel will get involved eventually too, probably. Why not?
Yeah, I might care a little bit then, but I'd rather.
I like McGuinness too, but hey.
And if you like, all you got to do, guys, all you got to do is make sure it's not the last match. I'll watch it
but
then.
why? What's their obsession again, dude? Like, why these guys? Like every time.
It's just so they. Well, I don't know what their real reason is, but at least with this, they can say Daniel Garcia's a main eventer because he keeps doing it.
Has he main evented a pay-per-view yet? I don't think so.
No.
Then he's not a main.
I know
event,
that's the only. Yeah, I know that's the only real thing that matters, but. It's all about the little fine print, you know? Like, they don't expect people to read that. So, say he's a main eventer or not. I keep saying it's the same thing, bro. 200 push-ups every day.
Fuck,
Do 200 push-ups every day.
I'm struggling, vet. I can't do it anymore. I'm getting too old. I'm getting too fat. I can't do it, bro.
Yeah. Well, Daniel Garcia
like
can.
Says,
he's a main eventer after all. The least he can do is do 200 push-ups every day.
Actually... He was a huge fan of Maven too. He marked out when he saw Maven. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
We all love
Mom's
Maven.
favorite wrestler too.
Everybody loves Maven.
Sure, he seems like a cool dude. Absolutely.
But that's it. That's AEW.
That was that.
Highlight is Ricochet beating up a man and taking his leg, and they still screwed that up. And it was no fault of Ricochet's because I'm sure that he probably didn't know that they were going to do that, even though he could have guessed if he'd ever watched the show before. But damn it, Tony, I know you like to listen to advice like 6 months after the fact, so it looks like you haven't listened to it. But I'm telling you, stop doing that fake advertising a match way too soon shit. Just please.
I don't think he cares. He doesn't give a shit. Tony
please care.
Yeah. Please care. Care for professional wrestling and your own company, for crying out loud.
Just care, man. Look, all you got to do is just make the adjustments one by one. If you keep making the adjustments, eventually you'll get there. Just don't give up. Don't give up. And don't tell me that a guy that's never been on your TV show before already has a match booked and that you booked it. Like, where did you book it? He was still lying in the ring when you fucking made that match. How did he agree to it? How did he tell you? Did he get us? Was he like selling and like pulling his phone out of his pocket and like, oh, I got a text from Tony. Yeah, I'll fight him on Dynamite, I guess. Like, how would that have even happened? So,
that's a good question. $1 million question.
Just don't do little shit like that, and people won't make fun of you as much. I know you hate being made fun of, and that's one of the things. So just don't do that.
He hates it, dude. Before we do go, Cold Blooded says Garcia is one of the 4 pillars. Hate to say it, but he's become pretty much one of the 4 pillars, right? I know it sounds stupid.
If Lil Brooks Jensen isn't there doing whatever he's doing, then there's a pillar missing.
Where is he?
I don't know.
There's 2 pillars missing supposedly. Out of the original pillars, MJF and Darby are probably still there, right? The other two, forget it. They're done.
Well, what was the? I mean,
You said
Jack
Jungle Boy,
is-
wasn't it? Right.
Jag is gone, and then where is
Guevara was the other one, wasn't it?
Oh my God, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Can you believe that? Sammy
That guy
Guevara,
sucks.
dude. He's
Wow, they called him a
sucks.
pillar.
He was one of the original 4 pillars, man, for real. But Liz says the new ones are Darby Allin, Tony Storm now, Daniel Garcia, and Will Ospreay. Really, is that official, or is that just going, your opinion, Liz? But if that's their 4 pillars,
I don't think
now-
she would pull that out of thin air.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think those would be her pillars.
No. Well, maybe Tony should put in there. Nah, she wouldn't put Tony in there. I wouldn't even put Tony in there, for crying out loud. Why is she even there?
Wow. It's a graphic.
Yeah. Thank you, Isaac Tamu. Yeah.
Yes, we unfortunately had to break that news, and we're going to have to deal with that eventually, but it's kind of hard when you're live to get your thoughts together, so we just had to finish our show, and I'm sure
we'll touch on
that, we're all going to be thinking about Sabu for the next few days, but it's time for us to get out of here.
Yeah,
So
let's scoot and take it home. So in saying that, Vet, tell them what you're up to, what you're doing, and what game are you playing tonight, man, or today?
I mean, we'll see. At Opinion Haver on all favorite social media platforms. Check out the here on Hami Media Group. Check out the Next Level Wrestling Review every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern with Big Ray Hernandez. We talk about NXT. Check out the Impact Attack every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern with Brandon, and we talk about TNA. If you want to talk about outside of HMG affiliates, we've got Wrestling with Rip Rogers every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Their concrete times. They've been pretty concrete lately. So go check them out. Ask Rip a question. Check out the Stevie Richards Show every Friday. New content. That's not Stevie Richards Show. There's Stevie Richards Show. Stevie Richards Show. New content, fresh content every week. And it's not only fresh as in it's new, but it's fresh as in it's different. So please check out Stevie. Check out Limpin' Ain't Easy with Timmy Baltimore. Good friend. Talk to Bishop Khan. Latest interview with Tiffany Nieves. And keep your eyes peeled for more and more from Timmy Baltimore. And I've been working on trying to get him back over here to HMG for a show or two. So let's see
That'd be great, man.
how that turns out. And that is just about it for me, Jimmy.
Well, speaking of Timmy, I hate the fact that I can't freaking communicate on Twitter right now for whatever reason still. Apparently I follow no one now. Everyone follows me. But yeah, man, I haven't done a show with Timmy in a couple of years at least. Last time we've been on the show together. So yeah, it'd be good if he was to be back. I haven't spoken to him in quite a while. But as far as I go, look out for I Like a Raw. Tuesday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern with myself and, of course, Big Ray Hernandez, where we talk all things Monday Night Raw. The Smack Attack, look out for that. It's still up, I think, on YouTube, funny enough. With me and RBV, where we talk obviously leading into Backlash and of course SmackDown. And then speaking of Backlash, go check out the Backlash review show with myself, RBV, and Let's Go Brandon Whoop Whoop, where we break down Backlash. And of course, look out for this very show, The Wreckage, every Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. And I think that's about it for me. So in saying that, you know what to do. Subscribe at HMG YouTube channel and, of course, channelattitude.com. You know, you won't be disappointed. But I think it's time for us to go. So I am Jimmy T. He is my co-host, the best in the world, Jamie the Vet Williams. And you've been listening and watching the
Wreckage. I'm Daddy Magic there, Jimmy. You don't like me, Jimmy? You don't like me, Jimmy, huh? You don't like me on the Wreckage? The Wreckage there? Huh?
The Wreckager. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so until next time, take it easy and peace out. See yous.